recently in Atlanta not long ago. I like to come out to LA because Atlanta's a little bit too small sometimes. Like you do a show, the word gets out. I walked into a Panera Bread after a show in Atlanta recently, and I'm like, in there, I'm about to order and everything, and one of the people behind the counter is like, oh, wait a minute, Patton, right? You perform at the comedy club the other night. This guy's really funny. He's one of the funniest comedians in Atlanta. And the girl taking my order was like, oh, you're a comedian? Tell me a joke. And I was like, oh, you work at Panera? Bitch, make me a sandwich. Only one of us is at work. It's a damn good sandwich, too. Comedy, man, it's a fun job. It'll throw you a curveball every now and then. We showed up for a TV taping at a show recently, and we all get there and we're super psyched about it, and everybody's like there, and they didn't tell us when we got there. They're like, you have to be totally clean or we will not air your shit on TV. But I didn't say shit, whatever. And so every comic backstage is like, damn it, dude, how am I going to change this joke? Can I say this instead of that? Can I edit this and say that? And it started to feel like one of those movies that you watch on basic cable, which has like no business being on basic cable. You're all into Die Hard, all of a sudden at the end he's like, yippee-ki-yay, mother falcon. Remember this being that lame? Every now and then, though, that makes the movie a little bit better. Just a little bit more interesting. Like, for instance, you turn on, like, snakes on a plane. All of a sudden, in the middle of the movie, Samuel L. Jackson stands up. I am sick of these monkey farming snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. That's a really long flight. All right. It's crazy. I do live in Atlanta. I come out here a lot. I'm originally from Alabama, which is a little bit of a shocker to a lot of people when you come out to LA. And it's ridiculous the reaction. Listen, right, yeah. It's ridiculous the reaction you get when you tell people. They just look at you like, oh my God, you are from Alabama? Why? Because that's where my mom's vagina was hanging out at the time. Good answer for that. Ridiculous. Had a buddy of mine who does shows in New York, a comedian from Alabama. He's wearing a suit one time, gets in a cab. The cab driver's like, where are you from? Alabama. Why are you in that suit? Because, I don't know. It's like, I thought everybody in Alabama wore overalls and straw hats. Really? Because what year do you have? 2010 or Reconstruction? That is ridiculous. That would be like me going to Boston next week and being like, what you doing in that Red Sox hat? I thought all you guys wore powdery wigs and delivered crucial messages on horseback. Paul Revere for that side. Paul Revere. Yeah, love that guy. You guys can probably tell I'm not from around here by the haircut. It's kind of an Alabama Bama bangs is what they call it. And it pisses me off because I'm like, dude, who the fuck is this Justin Bieber guy? I had it first, bitch. Okay, you can stop laughing, please. Thank you. I don't know. There's some things like I would never even do that, like people think, we get hell for doing. Like I would never fly the Confederate flag. Not necessarily because I think it's racist, because I think it is stupid. Why? Maybe because they fucking lost. That's why. We're gonna pick one place to start. That seems logical. It's like, oh yes, sir. That country that you're honoring does not even exist. Yeah, if you're gonna fly flags for imaginary countries, go with like Narnia. Because the Confederate flag is like a giant banner that says second place. Only place is misspelled, so. I don't really get it. There are a lot of people name their kids after religious names, like in the South and everywhere, really. And I understand why parents do that, you know, because they want their kids to turn out holy, and it never works. No. Because if it did, how come all the biggest hoes in high school had names like Angel, you know? Apparently won't hear tonight. I don't know. I'm not even judging anybody. It's a little bit awkward that a couple of girls I slept with in college have names you have to chant in church. You know, it's like Sunday morning, you're in your suit, standing next to your mom, feeling good about yourself. Next thing you know, you're like, Gloria, tap that in my buddy's truck. Some kind of good things though about living around like a lot of nature. The Pasadena is pretty spread out. LA's a lot of, you know, city grid. Atlanta's the same way. I like kind of being out in the rural areas. The only problem is like, you know, you're always around nature. It's really cool until like one bird gets outside your living room window and makes the same fucking noise over and over again for like an hour and a half. Starts sounding the chorus from Jump Around. Lock it up, lock it in. The bird doesn't rap.